Anyways, I do sort of want to apologize at the beginning of this video for the video that's coming out today. Will probably be going up tomorrow. And the reason for that is I started the render quite late. I think it was about 4:30 by the time I actually got to render the video, because it took forever to basically get everything set up. And I also recorded quite late. I think it was 11:30 when I started recording, and I didn't wrap up until about like 2. So about just over 2 hours of gameplay. And it's also a large file itself. It's like over 2 gigs. So yeah, so it's going up right now. So there's about actually 4 minutes left of upload, and then it's going to probably be at least another, I'm going to say at least 20-30 minutes to make sure there's no copyright music and all that. So yeah, so a little bit of a different video, because as you can see, my shelf behind me. Oh, actually, I actually forgot a game. There you go. So I said, I can't remember in what video it was or what stream it was, that at the end of the year, I was going to showcase every single game, physical game that I had bought in the year, right? I do have an Excel spreadsheet, so if I do look the opposite way, like look to my right, I'm looking at my spreadsheet, because there's just oh, actually, that was also this year. Okay, another game I have to pull. And I should also say, some of these games I don't have anymore, and I will mention the ones that I don't have. Oh, this was also this year. And I think Borderlands was also this year as well. Yes. So, yeah, pretty much my entire Switch collection I pretty much ordered this year, pretty much. So that's pretty much the core, what's left up there, was over the last like couple years, like 2023 to 2024. Everything that I have sitting on my bed behind me, I either ordered end of last year and it arrived this year, or I bought it this year and it arrived this year, because there's a lot of stuff like that. So I should start with PS4 and 360, because I did actually buy a couple PS4 games this year and one 360 game, which I think are these two. Nope. Where are they? I know it's these two. Yeah, here it is. And sort of like, where did I buy them, sort of thing. So most of these games I ordered from, at least for PS5, except for 2, and I'll get to those, were bought from Video Games Plus, or VGP. So, yeah. So, except for 2 were bought from other places. Everything else was Video Games Plus. Switch was a couple different places. Some was Amazon. Some was Video Games Plus. Some was Fangamer. And a lot, like the majority of it, was PlayAsia. And there's also some eBay as well in there. I do have those listed as that also needs to be pulled. Just looked at another game, which I completely forgot about. I guess it's already pulled. I guess it's already pulled because I don't actually see it in my list or in what's left up there. So like I said, there are a few PS4 games in here that I ordered. Well, one I ordered, and one I actually picked up in store, actually at a retro store. Actually, a couple actually I picked up at a retro store. So I'll start with those because there's not many of them. Immortals Phoenix Rising for PS4. I think at the time that I ordered this, I think it was like $10. Always wanted to play it. There is a PS5 upgrade, but I have to put in this disc to play it, which is fine. Not that big of a deal. For $10, I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'll try it. I do at some point want to pick up a proper PS5 version, but for now, PS4 is fine. BB and Tina at the Horse Farm. There is a PS5 version available for it. I didn't even know this game even existed for PS4. I thought it was just PS5 and Switch. No, there is a PS4 version. The only way I knew about this was from Mystic when he did, I think it was 30 Platinums in 30 Days. I think it was part 2 this game showed up. So very, very easy completion. We might end up playing it on the channel if you guys want. It shouldn't take too long. It should take about a couple of days. If we do play, I can't remember exactly how much I bought it for because I didn't actually put it into this list. So this was from a retro store about 30 minutes away. Actually, no, sorry. I should correct myself. 45 minutes away, roughly, was this retro store. Same with this. Xbox Arcade. It's a little beat up. I am looking for another 360 case. Actually, quite a fair bit of 360 cases because I have a ton in my collection that need proper cases. I think there's like 9 of them that need proper cases. I can see 4 right now. Yeah, there's about 9 that I think that need proper cases. So at some point I'll probably try to buy just blank 360 cases. Again, I can't remember how much I paid for this. So these two I bought the same day. And the only reason why I ended up going with this one was because it ended up having Feeding Frenzy, which is a very hard to find game for 360. Yeah, so I do have Feeding Frenzy now. Very weird sort of compilation disc. I was even surprised you could even just buy this because this was a pack-in game for the original 360 back in the day, like 2005, 2006. So, very, very fun to have this in the collection. Now, let's start with Switch. I'll start with this stack here. I do also want to preface that I do have one game coming, but it's not going to be here until early next year. And that is actually the sequel to High on Life. I do have High on Life 2 coming from Limited Run, or that in August. So that is coming. That won't be here until I think very end of January, at the earliest beginning of February, at most likely. So like I said, High on Life 2 is coming. So that PS5 game we don't need to talk about. So now let's talk Switch. Finally picked up Hollow Knight. I do have the sequel, digitally for Switch 2, the actual Switch 2 version. But I picked this up from Fangamer. For actually, it was quite expensive because, yeah, it was more expensive than I thought. It was like $60 converted, because obviously it came from Phoenix, Arizona. So wanted to always get this in the collection. Never ended up playing it originally when it came out. But yeah, so I thought, you know what, pick it up, have it in the collection. Yeah. So again, comes with all the DLC on the cartridge. But yeah, so this one was from, almost dropped it, from Fangamer. I actually have a few from that were done by Fangamer, but that was the one that I ended up specifically buying through Fangamer because Amazon didn't have it in stock. Best Buy didn't have it. Video Games Plus was sold out. So there was a lot of stuff like that. Like, so a lot of stores just didn't have copies available, either brand new or used. So I should also say about most of this collection is brand new. There's a few used games in here. Like these two, for example, were used, BB and Tina at the Horse Farm and the 360 compilation disc. These two were used. But the majority of these were brand new. Now we're getting into some of the heavy hitters and some of the more expensive stuff. More of the imports, shall we say. A lot of imports. I have quite a fair bit of imports. We have, if I just pull my list over, oh, right, that was, yes, give me a sec. Star Wars. I completely forgot that one of the other games was ordered end of last year, but it arrived this year. So there's some of that as well. Most of these I ordered end of last year, like very end of last year, like December, like very late December. And they showed up this year. And then there's a lot that showed up, like I ordered this year and showed up this year as well. So we have Tokyo Clan Pool. Yeah. This is a very hard one to get here. You can't get it digitally. The only way to get it is through PlayAsia. And this is sort of one of the games that sort of really kickstarted my buying from PlayAsia at the time. And it was actually kind of expensive. Like, it was like $60. And I should say most of my PlayAsia orders were all over like $200. I should say not all of them. Like half my orders from PlayAsia were over $200. So yeah, so Tokyo Clan Pool, little bit of a weird RPG type of thing, but I was like, you know what? Who knows how long it will be available for? From PlayAsia, all that. And you might be wondering, will I be playing this on the channel? The only way I would be able to do it is if I age restrict it. Yeah, and I hate age restricting videos. I've done it a few times depending on the game and stuff like that. I hate doing it, but if I do play this on the channel, I'll have to do it. Just because of the type of content that it is. But I have played a little bit of it, but not for a while. Then we have Gris. Some of these I did buy just straight up from other places. And unfortunately, I didn't put everything in this list here that I'm looking at. Finally picked up Gris. I am looking at picking it up for PS5, but picked it up for Switch because at the time I only had the Switch. Because there wasn't a PS4 version that I'm aware of. And it was actually pretty decently priced. I think it was like $50 or something. So, not bad. Always, again, another one that I've always wanted to play. Heard great things about it as well. Then we have The Messenger. Again, another one from VGP. Same with, this is also his Video Games Plus as well. I forgot to mention that. Same with Hollow Knight. No, Hollow Knight was Fangamer, right. Then we have The Messenger. Finally picked up The Messenger. Again, one of the weird sort of games that I wanted to pick up. Again, includes the Picnic, Panic DLC. Again, Video Games Plus. I think if I remember correctly, I think this was about like $50, 50 something dollars, maybe 40, $50. I can't remember off the top of my head, because I don't think I put this one in the list here. Let me see. No, I didn't. I didn't put this one in the list, unfortunately. So again, very, very happy to finally get this in the collection. I actually haven't played it. Truth be told, I actually haven't played a majority of these games for at least on Switch. Because I'm always bouncing in and out of different games from PS5 to Switch to now to PC, so I'm Xbox One, so I'm bouncing around constantly. So, and I'm also playing with friends a lot of the time, so I don't really get a chance to play or test a lot of these games. So, thought, you know what, grab it before it gets sold out. I was very lucky to actually get a copy when I did, because again, it's a very hard one to get a hold of at a reasonable price. Now we get into more imports. So again, another one from PlayAsia. And this one was actually kind of expensive. Oh, right. The other one I picked up was Rage for the 360, but that's a Japanese copy. Was also in this order. So wanted to pick up Nightshade. Again, very highly rated, well reviewed, visual novel. Again, very expensive. It was, game alone was like $100. No. Yeah, it was like, what was it? Well, $82 basically. There's another one in here that is, I'm not sure if it's in this stack or one of these other two stacks behind me. Was the $100 game, but still very expensive, $80 for a visual novel. You can get it digitally as well, but again, I like to have things physical. And there's also a lot of times where I will buy games that are expensive just to have in the collection, so just in case if I do need to get rid of them, they do somewhat try to make some money. Right, I can sell them for a little bit of profit. Like if in terms of like trade and stuff like that. But a lot of these probably won't be going anywhere. I actually had to extend the shelf up a little bit because I didn't know if I would have space for some of the other Switch stuff that was coming. So I was hoping that it wouldn't actually touch the motherboard, but it is. And that's actually a working motherboard, by the way. And that was my original board in the PC that I have, my other PC that I have beside me, until 2023 is when I completely rebuilt it. So that's a 2016 motherboard. Basically, those parts were from 2016 is when I put that system together. So again, Nightshade. I have played a little bit of this, but it's been a while since I've played it, and it wasn't on camera or whatnot. It was just for fun, basically. Then we get to the game that I've been playing more recently, and the only Switch 2 game I have, physical Switch 2 game, shall I say, is Pokemon Legends ZA. Very, very fun game. Enjoying it more than Arceus, actually. I haven't jumped back to Arceus since I got the Switch 2, so I might do that at some point. So, again, very expensive. I think it was like, would have been about $113 or something like that. But very fun. Do I recommend it? If you enjoyed Arceus, yes. But if you're looking for that more old school vibe, shall we say, for Pokemon, I would say no. But it depends. If you do want it, I would wait for for a sale if it is ever on sale, or buy it used if that is an option. And this one was Video Games Plus, I should say. Whereas Nightshade, if I didn't mention, was PlayAsia. Now we get into an Amazon order. So this is Coffee Talk and Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. But it's actually, if you can see from the rating, where is it? Here's the focus. It's a piggy, which basically means it is Europe. And you might be wondering, why did I go down this route? Why didn't I buy them separately? Amazon was, in my opinion, overcharging for the first game. They wanted, I think, $100 just for the first Switch game, for the first one. I'm like, no. And then, in sort of the recommended similar product, this showed up, and it was like, done. This actually came from Germany, actually. And it took quite a while to get here. I think it took like 10 days or so to get here. So, yeah. I have played... Wait. No, I actually haven't played this. Because this actually arrived recently. Within like the last few months. But yeah, so this was actually Amazon. Then we have... This one is a bit of fun, of a weird story. So, Piece of Blue Moon Glass. This is actually a Korean version, I believe. And let me double check if I am correct on that. I think it is the Korean version. Let me just double check. It is the Asian version, I should say. Not Korean, sorry. It is the Asian version. And this was actually kind of expensive. It ended up being like 90, almost $100. Because there are sometimes where... There are some games, if you do import, you'll have to pay import on top of whatever that game cost. And I didn't put it in this list, unfortunately. So I can't remember if I paid import on it or something like that. But again, this is another very expensive one. And the funny thing about this was, like, I ordered this literally the day after I bought my Switch 2. And they said it was going to arrive early July. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. And that time had come and went. And I sort of emailed them. I'm like, what's going on here? Basically what happened is they were sold out and they couldn't get copies. It took a month. So, and keep in mind, like, I ordered this in June. It didn't ship and arrive until August. And they also had some other issues as well, which they told me. Yeah, so this one took quite a while to arrive. And I have played a little bit of this. So, again, PlayAsia, kind of expensive. I kind of wish it was a little bit cheaper, but in some cases I'm willing to pay more for it. Yes, I could have bought it digitally. I could have bought actually all of these games digitally, but again, I like to have physical games in the collection, so this was one of them. Then we actually have, I'll talk about two of them together because they actually came bundled together. So these are Monster Camp Double XL and Monster Road Trip Double XL. Both of these are from Super Rare Games out of Europe. Both were limited to, I think, 3,000 copies, I think. And both of them are now, I believe, sold out. I believe they're both sold out. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just actually going to double check on that. And if you've ordered anything from Super Rare and you live in Canada, they've suspended the service. So that's kind of unfortunate because of the strike, which has sort of ended, but not really. They're just on rotating strikes at the moment. Apparently, according to as of recording, they have about 4% of these games available. It is expensive. These ones I did have to pay import on, so these ones were kind of expensive. I think they were about total $150 for just these two, so $75 a game. But like I said, these were limited to 4,000 copies. My mistake. I thought it was 3,000 copies, but no, they were limited to 4,000 copies. And wow, the video is live. The Pokemon. Oh, actually, I need to do that. There we go. Yeah. So that video is now live. So yeah. So the video from today has just gone live. So yeah. So these two are still available if you do want them. There's about 4% left as of recording. But again, if you do live in Canada, they've suspended shipping due to the postal strike. I ordered these way earlier, so yeah. So these were, like I said, Super Rare Games off their website. The next one I ordered, Doom and Doom 2. This is one of, I think, 3 numbered limited run games I have. I have Doom 2, and I have 2 copies of another game. I have one for Switch and one for PS5, which we will actually get to once we touch the PS5 side of things. So yeah, so it's Doom and Doom 2 on Switch with all the content. So there's the cartridge, there's the little instruction manual, and it is numbered 283 copies, or at least that's what my number is. I actually don't remember how many they made off the top of my head. And like I said, I ordered this like in April, and it arrived a while ago. Just trying. Yeah, it shipped. So I ordered it in April, and it arrived in like September. Yeah, so if I actually go into it here, because it's already sold out, I can see how many copies they made. Or not anymore, I guess. Yeah, sometimes they do tell you how many copies they made. Sometimes they don't. So that's everything for that stack. Now, let's move on to the other stack for PS5, or for Switch, I should say. Next, we have Borderlands 3 Ultimate Edition. This was like $23, brand new. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to play it on Switch 2. Well, I can, but unfortunately, progression has been bugged, and it seems like Gearbox and or 2K don't really want to put in the resources to fix it, considering now Borderlands 4 is out. So this one could potentially be on a trade, but who knows. So Borderlands 3. This was actually EB Games, actually. Whereas Kirby and the Forgotten Land, this is actually the standard version. I do own now, digitally, the Switch 2 version, so it has the quote-unquote DLC or the expansion. So this is just the standard version of it. So again, this could also be on a trade because I do have it digitally with the expansion. So yeah, this was actually bought from Best Buy, actually, and shipped to me. Next we have Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. This was actually from EB Games, like way up north, like up near Aurelia, actually. So about 2 and a bit, 3 hours away from where I live. So very fun game. Haven't actually finished it, actually, and I also haven't played it in a while. The one that I'm close on finishing is Mario Odyssey, actually. So who knows? So I have done some videos in this already, but again, it's been a while. Very fun game, but it was also very expensive. More than what I was thinking it was worth. Next we have Shantae and the Seven Sirens. This is actually, again, a Japanese version. And you might be wondering, why do you buy a lot of Japanese stuff? Sometimes it's games that we just didn't get here in North America, or sometimes it's games that we have here but are cheaper from Japan, but are playable in English, and this is one of them. I did talk about this in my imports video that I did like months ago. This was in it, plus a lot of all my other imports as well. So I actually haven't played this, but I did want to pick it up before the prices jumped. So this was from PlayAsia. Next we have Shantae and the Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition. Again, Japanese version. There's the little rating. Again, these two were in the same order. Yeah, so PlayAsia again. Just because they were a little bit cheaper to get from Japan than what the North American versions were, because they were both done by Limited Run. And those games typically are a lot more expensive. Then we have Gunvolt. What is this? Yeah, Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger X2? IX2. Yeah, so again, another weird sort of game from PlayAsia. I don't remember what genre this is off the top of my head. A lot of these I don't remember. They're sort of like a Metroid, not a Metroid, yeah, Metroid mixed with like Mega Man. That's the word I was thinking of. So a couple of these are like that as well. And then we have the first game, Chronicles X. Or I guess IX is how I have it written down. But again, here's the first game in the set. Then we have Metroid Prime Remastered. This is actually the Japanese version, but if you prefer the North American cover art, there it is. I didn't realize that they were reversible, so I ended up buying 2 different copies. So I had my Japanese one and a North American version. Flipped, went to grab this version, looked inside, I was like, oh, that's the same as what I had. I didn't at that point I realized that they were reversible. So I no longer have my US version or my North American version. That one went in trade to bring the price down of the Switch 2. So a bunch of those games left. Most of my PS4 stuff left. My PS4 itself left. The Switch OLED Tears of the Kingdom left. So I had a lot of stuff to trade to bring the price of Switch 2 down. So this does play in English, so I'm fine. And I should also say, and this was eBay, actually. This one was eBay. I should also say that a lot of my PS4 stuff also left, except for like a few games, like Last of Us Remastered, Last of Us Part 2 for PS4, BB and Tina at the Horse Farm, and Concrete Genie were all the ones that stayed behind after the trade because they didn't really trade in for much. So, yeah. So we also have House Flipper. This is actually a US copy, but I ended up getting it off of PlayAsia because I can't remember why. I probably couldn't find it locally, I guess. It was either that or the price was decent. So finally ended up picking up House Flipper. So yeah, I don't think I did play this a little bit off camera. And again, this was PlayAsia. This one is expensive. This one I remember how much this one was. This one was stupidly expensive. This one was, at the end of it, was almost $111 at the end of it, because the game itself was not cheap. Because this was from eBay. It was the only place I could actually find it. I couldn't find it through my local I couldn't find it through Video Games Plus didn't have it, and PlayAsia also itself didn't have it. I'm glad I got it when I did, because it's now a lot more expensive. So it's about $81 US, or about $114, plus about $27 of shipping, and then there's import on top of all that. So this one collection here, which is called the Grisaya Trilogy, was $110.80 at the end of the day. So very, very expensive game, but super, super happy to finally get this in the collection. I do also want to say all of my imports have English subtitles. They're either playable in full English or have English subtitles. If they don't have English subtitles, even if it's a cheap game, I don't even touch it, because I need it to have English subtitles. Then we have, what is this game? Sorry, I'm just trying to We have this one is Panic in Sweetsland. This is actually from Asia as well. Yeah. So again, it's sort of a weird Metroidvania style game. I have played a little bit of this, not a lot, but I have played a little bit of it. But again, it's been quite a while since I played it. But very fun game, and it was actually reasonable price if I remember correctly. And again, PlayAsia for this one as well. Again, Death Smiles 1 and 2. This is actually, again, one of, I think, only about a handful of games I ordered from PlayAsia that are US rated. So as you can see, it's a teen rating. There you go. There's the focus. Yeah, so this was brand new. Like I said, most of these games were brand new. There's a very few in the collection behind me that were used. Again, all the art cards, the manual, and you might be wondering, why did I get it from PlayAsia? Couldn't find it anywhere else. Literally, I looked at Video Games Plus, I looked at Amazon, I looked pretty much anywhere, and I couldn't find it. PlayAsia was the only place that actually had it. And it was actually, if I remember correctly, it was actually kind of expensive. It was like $67 for it. I am actually looking for it for 360, actually. Either the first game or the sequel. So if you know where I can find them, let me know down in the comments below, because I would like to have them for 360 as well. But for now, I have it on Switch. So again, PlayAsia. There. And then we have a couple more games from Limited Run, but these two are distributed titles, meaning that these aren't numbered. And actually, both this game and the next game that I'm going to show you were in their vault, meaning that they had found some spares from like different events and stuff like that, like different conventions. So they were trying to get rid of them basically. And this was one of them, which sort of feels like an Ori, Will of the Wisps type of game. Really fun, but also very challenging. And it wasn't actually that badly priced, if I remember correctly. But again, I could be wrong. So Embers was $15. Again, you can tell if it's distributed or not, because here's my Doom. You can see there's a number on the back, 283, and on here there's no number. So that's a very easy way to tell if it's a distributed versus a numbered one. So yeah, so again, that was a limited run off of their website, alongside this one as well, which I've not actually played this at all. So yeah, it was actually pretty decent, and I was like, you know what, I'll jump on it. It wasn't too bad. Like I said, it was like $25. So now we get into the last stack of Switch. Like I said, I do actually have quite a fair bit of Switch. Yeah. So next we have Star Wars Heritage Pack. So this is 7 games all on one cartridge. Well, cartridge. 30 gig download basically. Yeah. So you have Jedi Knight Academy, Force Unleashed, Jedi Knight the Outcast, or Jedi Knight 2, the Jedi Outcast, Old Republic, Knights, Star Wars Knights 2, the Sith Lords, Republic Commando, and Star Wars Racer. So I have found variations of this before, like with like 2 or 3 of them. At most I think I saw was 4, but this was all 7 of them. So yeah, so this one was Best Buy, and I actually bought this in store, but they ended up having to ship me a copy because they didn't actually have any in stock at that time. They were actually sold out. So, but it arrived fairly quickly. Like, I ordered it late one day, and it arrived literally like within 2 days. So that's nice. Next we have Death Road to Canada. Again, another one from PlayAsia. Sort of a weird zombie type of thing. Not actually played it, actually. Haven't actually played it. This one I did play on video, Okami, which for some reason is an import exclusive. Like, I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find it at EB Games. I couldn't find it at Best Buy. I couldn't even find it on Amazon for Switch. I could find it for like PS4 and stuff like that. But for Switch, it's an import. But never ended up playing the original version of it. This is the HD remaster. But again, plays totally in English. One of my favorite videos, actually, I've done. Next we have Cowderus Blaze. Again, so this is sort of like an old school arcade shoot 'em up type of thing. So yeah, haven't actually fully played this. Played a little bit, but not a lot. Again, if I do end up doing this on the channel, age restricted, unfortunately. Then we have Celeste. This one was kind of expensive. And Cowderus Blaze was on PlayAsia, if I forgot to mention it. This one was Amazon. And it was actually more expensive than what I was hoping it was. It was like $87. And unfortunately, I did have to pay for shipping for this one. Again, fully complete. Poster, everything is included. Very fun game. I am sort of looking at adding it for PS5 as well, but there's a ton of other PS5 stuff that I'm looking at, including Celeste. But super happy to have it in the collection. I also do have it digitally because I was hoping to get a physical copy in before a bit of a trip. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So I bought the digital first, as this was basically being shipped, because I didn't know what was going to happen. Was I going to have my digital? Was I going to have this before I left? So I was like, you know what, screw it, just buy a digital copy. So this was Amazon. Next we have Made of the Dead. Again, another PlayAsia game. Again, it'll be age restricted if I do play it. But I can't remember what genre this is. Yeah, because I don't think I've actually played this, or if I did, I can't remember what genre it is. Next, we have a ton of Pokemon stuff. We have Pokemon Sword. This one took me a while to get a physical copy. This one was from Amazon. Yeah, this one was from Amazon, and again, I didn't add it to this list. And you might be wondering, like, why Amazon? I couldn't find it used anywhere. Video Game Plus was sold out. EB Games just didn't have them. If they did, they didn't have Sword. They had Shield. I needed Sword because that's what I had digitally at the time and still do. But yeah, so I was like, you know what, screw it. I already had something else in my Amazon cart, so I thought, you know what, toss this in. And this was one of the only orders I actually ended up having to pay for shipping. And I paid express shipping because I needed it within 24 hours in that case. So yeah, super happy to finally get Sword in the collection. Next, we have new Pokemon Snap. Again, this is a Japanese copy, but again, fully playable in English. And it was actually decently priced. So this again was eBay. Most of my Pokemon stuff, except for a few, except for Arceus. Arceus was Amazon. Pokemon Violet was EB. It was an EB Games in Calgary, because I bought that the same day that I bought my Switch OLED, in 2023, same day. But this was from eBay. Then we have Pokemon Shining Pearl, so the remake of Diamond and Pearl from the DS era. Again, eBay, because it was a little bit cheaper than the US versions. That's typically what I go with, is if I can get them a little bit cheaper, I will. So, Pearl. And you might be wondering, will you be getting Diamond? No. It was one or the other. And I chose Pearl. Then we have Detective Pikachu Returns. Again, this is an eBay one. Again, fully playable in English, even though it is a Japanese version. Then we have Steam Prison, one of the very expensive visual novels I have in the collection. Well over 100. It was about $100 at the end of it. Haven't fully played it, but I have played a little bit of it. This should not be as expensive as it is. This one was stupidly expensive. So this was an Amazon order, and it was $106.04 because I had to pay shipping for this. It's 2 games, Nurse Love Addiction and Nurse Love Syndrome, all on one cartridge. Almost over $100 for this. Ridiculously expensive. I don't know why. And it's a distributed copy from Limited Run. It's not even a numbered copy. If it was numbered, then fine. But it's distributed, meaning they distributed it on behalf of these guys right down here. Diega, I guess? Or yeah, you can't even buy it anymore from Limited Run. You have to go through a secondary market like eBay or Amazon. But be prepared to pay. This one was an expensive one. Am I happy I bought it when I did? Yes, but I regret paying what I paid for it. That goes for Super Mario 3D All-Stars. That one is the most expensive Switch game I've ever bought. And actually most expensive game I've ever bought in general. Compared to physical hardware, obviously. Physical hardware is way more than what that game is. Yeah, and that was a used copy, and it was like $210. Or, sorry. What was it? Actually, because I have it listed here. Oh, wait, no, I don't. That's in another list. But it was definitely over $200. Which, ridiculous. And the only reason why it's that much is because it's limited from Nintendo. It's not even a limited run or strictly limited or any of those sort of things. Nintendo was like, oh yeah, we're making it limited. It's like, oh, frick. That's the only game out of this entire stack for Switch that I would have bought even if I didn't have hardware. That's the one game that I regret not buying even if I didn't have hardware, because of how expensive it is. And I would have also bought a digital copy as well, but it is what it is. I paid what I paid for it. Then we have, again, another sort of weird visual novel type of thing, I'm guessing. Love Kami Trilogy. This, again, was PlayAsia. And if I remember correctly, not that bad price, actually. Love Kami Trilogy was about $40, so not too bad. Again, fully complete. So the manual, it is a reversible cover as well, like most of these are. Yeah, so yeah, so it's sort of like a info guide on all the characters, basically. Yeah. And then we have the last Switch game, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Again, eBay. For this one. So that is everything for Switch and Switch 2. Now, let me just move these games out of the way. So then I can make room for the PS5 games. Like I said, there are a few in here that I ended up getting used. There's only one in here that I bought used, I think. Yeah, there's only one that I bought used, and one that wasn't from, or sorry, there's two from in this collection here for PS5 that wasn't from PlayAsia or Amazon. Everything else is Video Games Plus, or there's actually 3 places I bought these games. Video Games Plus for 8 games. Which that's actually on another list, actually. It's not on my Excel list. It's in a different list. Archive. Oh my god, did I not? Here it is. Yeah. So we have excuse me. Last of Us Part 1. This one took a while to get a hold of. They finally emailed me one day, said, hey, it's back in stock. And it was actually on sale when I bought it. It was, I think, 50% off. So jumped on it. Finally have this in the collection. I do own a digital version of this as well. But again, I like to have physical copies. And it is also reversible cover art, which I didn't actually realize until just now. Then we have Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. This one I bought used. From EB Games, actually. And this one wasn't actually too expensive. I think it was like just over $60. And I believe this is still reversible cover art. Yep, still reversible cover art. But again, I do like having the PS5 version, like the white and all that. I don't mind it. Makes trying to find it easy. Then we have actually for these next two, I'll pull one of these boxes. Give me a minute here. There we go. I'm back. Yeah, so it came in one of these types of boxes. So this is the single shot edition for both of them. So yeah, so what do you get in it? You get stickers, a keychain, and a code for the soundtrack. And that is it. That is everything that you get in the single shot edition. I didn't want this edition. I just wanted the standard game, but this was the only version that Video Games Plus had for both Coffee Talk and Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. And they both came with the same stuff. So there's the cover arts for both of them. And you might be wondering, will I be playing them? Yes, I will be playing them. I will be perfecting them. I do intend on getting Coffee Talk Tokyo, which is coming. We just don't have yet a release date. We do have a demo for it, but I'm not sure if it's available on PS5 as of yet. I know there is a demo for it on PC, but I'm not sure if there is a demo for it on for PS5 yet. I'm just checking now. Okay, so there is a demo available for Coffee Talk Tokyo for PS5. That might have been recent. And I am actually adding it to the library right now, just so that I have it. Yeah, so I am waiting to actually get a hold of Coffee Talk Tokyo itself. I am adding it to the wish list. All we know is it is coming this year, according to the PlayStation's website, but we don't know exactly when. Even if I do a Google search for it, like a straight up Google for it, and jump to Steam, all we know is 2025. So yeah, so then we also have good old Astrobot. This was also, again, Video Games Plus. So yeah, most of these, like I said, except for Last of Us Part 2 and the next game, everything else here was Video Games Plus. Yeah. I was just looking at the other stack here. Yeah, so good old Astrobot. I actually haven't gone through Astro's Playroom yet, but I did want to get Astrobot before it sold out. Then we have Doom: The Dark Ages. This one was actually from Best Buy. And I wasn't really into buying Doom, obviously. But when I saw what the price was, I ran the rough math in my head. I was like, okay, fine. Unfortunately, this doesn't have a reversible cover. It's just the standard cover here. But hey, it is what it is. I saved a little bit on it, but not massively. Then we have Soul Hackers 2. This one was actually not that bad of a risk. Never ended up... It sort of a bit of a risk, but sort of not a risk. It's sort of a risk because I never ended up playing it, or the first game. But the reason why it's not a risk is because of the price. Like $10. I saved like $70 when I bought it. So yeah, and you do get some sort of like cards basically for it as well. Like I said, haven't actually ended up playing it. I don't actually have many Atlas games at all, actually. I have Persona 5 for PS3, so that's an Atlas one. And I do have Persona 5 Royal for PS5, so that's an Atlas one. And then we have Soul Hackers 2. Again, Video Games Plus for the rest of these games. Then we have, speaking of Atlas, Persona 5 Royal. I do own this digitally, but I bought it with the Persona collection, so that included 3 and 4, which I never ended up playing. I bought it just for 5, basically, because it made the most sense, because it was actually cheaper to buy the collection than 5 by itself. So yeah, this wasn't actually that bad. This I actually ordered alongside Pokemon Legends ZA for Switch 2. So this just recently arrived. But again, this one is strictly for the collection. If I want to play Persona 5, it will be on the digital version. But again, this was just to have to the collection because I never ended up owning Persona 5 in general, physically, actually, for PS3. I only owned it digitally, so finally added this to the collection. The other one that I recently added, Cult of the Lamb. Finally added it. Heard so many good things about it, never ended up playing it. And when I ordered it, it was also the last copy that Video Games Plus had at that time. I'm not sure if, as of recording, they have it back in stock. Let me check. See here. So they don't have any in stock for Switch or PS5. So like I said, super happy to finally get a hold of this in the collection. We might actually play this some point. Either this week or next week. Yeah, so it wasn't actually that badly expensive. It was like $29.99. But I also ended up picking up another game, which is also in this collection here. Because this would have had shipping if I didn't add the other game. Then we have Luna Nights. This was actually a pre-order. Actually, sort of like a Metroidvania type of thing. Most of these games, I should say, from this one in particular, and all of my imports pretty much were from I've heard of them from another channel called Physical Paradise. So I do want to put that out there. He showed a little bit of gameplay of this. I was like, okay, that kind of looks interesting. Jumped on Video Games Plus's website immediately. They only had, I think, 5 copies available at the time of the order for this. And again, I'm not sure if they still have copies available. Oops. Wait, am I spelling that right? Let me do it this way. They do have it for Switch. But I'm not sure if they have it available for PS5. I'm just checking right now. It doesn't seem like they do. No, it's sold out. So if you do want it, I believe it's available digitally. I'm not 100% sure on that. But if you just sign up on Video Game Plus's website, they'll notify you and once it's back in stock. So super happy to get a hold of this. And it actually arrived pretty quickly. Like I ordered it Wednesday and it arrived like the Thursday. So very quickly got it into the collection. Then we have Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. This one was a bit of a risk. A, because it's Ubisoft. and B, because of what I paid for it. Even on sale, I still paid $55 for the game. But I do own the Ultimate Edition digitally, and I'll explain why I did that. A, it was a pretty good deal. It was actually a very good deal. And I knew, okay, if I wanted to play it, I might end up at some point trading this off, and then I would have to rebuy it. But I was like, so I ended up buying a digital copy. So if I did ever want to trade this off, I can still play it. And it, like I said, it was a very good deal. But like I said, it was a bit of a risk because of A, the price, and B, it's freaking Ubisoft. Fresh start from what I've seen. Actually, truth be told, I haven't seen much content on this at all. It's sort of similar to something like Power Wash Simulator, so we might end up playing this sometime this week as well. Yeah, so this one wasn't a risk at all. It was like $20 off when I ordered it. So yeah, not too bad of a deal. Then we have everybody's favorite, Stray. This one was not a risk, but it is what it is. Again, comes with sort of art cards types of thing. I'm covering it. Art card sort of thing. Haven't actually played it, but I did, again, want to get it into the collection before it gets sold out. Then we have Kena Bridge of Spirits. This is the digital deluxe edition, which was the only edition that they had. And I did do a video in this, actually, pretty recently, within the last few months. Does come with a code for some bonus stuff, which I've already used, and some stickers. That is it. And it's not even, nope, it's not even a reversible cover, which is kind of annoying. But, yeah, very interesting game. I may get back to it at some point, but I might not. So, then the last game that I have, besides, like I said, we did talk about High on Life. I do have the sequel coming next year. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. This one was bought in conjunction with Cult of the Lamb. So these two were ordered together because I didn't want to pay for shipping. So, did I really need to buy this again? No, because I own it on Switch. But I thought, you know what? The trophy list doesn't look too bad. I might get to it at some point. And it was the last number that they made, 111. That's how many they made. So, that's the same with the copy for Switch I have, which is, I think, 284, I think, or 248. Let me actually just double check that number. Yeah, 248 is that Switch number. So yeah, so that is every single game I have bought this year. Actually, yes, that is true. I am looking at my my 360 collection because I would like to think one of the other games I have was last year. Yes, it was last year. When did it arrive? It doesn't tell me when it arrived. Dang it. Yeah, because like I said, I don't really buy stuff off of Amazon that often. Oh, the other one that did, I ordered end of last year that came this year was Final Fantasy 1 to 6 Pixel Collection for Switch. I also had a PS4 version, but that version got traded in to lower the price for Switch 2. Games I bought from Amazon this year. Animal Crossing. I forgot about Animal Crossing was this year. Farm Together was also this year, but that one left to bring the price of Switch 2 down. I talked about Nurse Love Obsession. Celeste, like I said, Farm Together, that left due to price of Switch 2. Metroid Prime Remastered, the US version, that left again because of duplicates, and Switch 2. Pokemon Sword and Coffee Talk 1 and 2 double pack, and it still says delivery date currently unavailable, but I do have it, so I have to figure out why it's still showing unavailable. But like I said, that is every single Switch 2, PS4, basically every single game I bought this year. So yeah, very, very fun list. And you might be wondering what games are next. There's not a lot that is next, shall we say, besides High on Life 2, just because of budgets, unfortunately. Like I said, the PS5 wasn't actually originally supposed to happen this year. It was not originally supposed to happen at all this year. It just ended up, budgets ended up sort of working out. So, yeah. So, and you might be wondering, what games am I missing for Pokemon for Switch? So, surprisingly, there's only 2 I'm missing for Switch. Pokken Tournament DX and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. So those are the only 2 Pokemon games I'm missing for Switch. So those are the only 2 I'm missing. And you might be wondering, like, oh, when are you going to get them? I'm hoping sometime next year, but we'll see sort of what I'm doing with work and stuff like that. And sort of also what comes out from them. Because next year is their 30th anniversary. So there could be some sort of special release, like re-release of Red, Blue, and Yellow or whatever. So that's a rumor there's a few things that are rumored from Pokemon for next year, but I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. They would be stupid not to re-release Red and Blue, potentially Yellow as well. But at least for Red and Blue, they would be stupid not to re-release. So, anyways, with that being said, I do have an accessory to show as well, which was bought this year. Is this. This is the 30th anniversary DualSense PS5 controller. I was really hoping to get the Edge, which is basically their version of Xbox's Elite controller, but unfortunately I just couldn't end up getting one. I was very, very happy that Best Buy actually had these available. So I did want to get a hold of one before they became very, very hard to get and very, very pricey. This was still very expensive. This was still like $100 and something. I can't remember exactly what I paid for it off the top of my off the top of my head, but it was more more expensive than I wanted to pay, shall we say. Hope this is the list. I just closed down the list I just needed opened. Me being an idiot. Yeah, so this is just literally the box. I do have the controller sitting on a stand, not that far from where I'm sitting. I can actually see it from where I'm sitting. And I actually needed it for some trophies in Minecraft for PS5. So I kind of needed a second controller. And I was like, why don't I just buy the 30th anniversary? It's the same damn price as the standard controller. So basically, I'll be using it very, very sparingly. So anyways, adios.